Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is SimplySimRacer, and this video is going to be part 2 of the F1 2020, my F1 2020 driver career mode. Last video that we did, we started out in F2 with the Carolyn team, and then we ended it with the 3 races, and we ended up with joining Red Bull, Aston Martin Red Bull towards the very end. So this video is going to pick up where that left off. We're going to see the interview that happens, then we're going to jump straight into qual, and then we'll go into the race. The race will be the full 100% distance of the race. However, we're not going to show the full race because it is about like 58 laps long, and it turns out to be like an hour and a half long video just with that alone. So we went ahead and cut it a little bit. Alright, so right here we're coming up to the interview.
Right,
so
you're done with the technicians.
I'll let you guys hear this.
Look, I know we've got a lot to get through in FP1, but Will Buxton's been pushing for a quick interview before you head out on track. Don't worry too much, he's a good lad. He's just over there. These media appearances are important for a few reasons. They'll help build your profile and your brand. Plus, your team will get a real boost to their motivation if they hear you praising them. Will, as promised, sorry to keep you waiting.
Ah, mate, not a problem at all, not a problem.
Look, we've got to be out on track in about 5 minutes for FP1, so we can only spare you a couple of minutes max. Is that going to be enough time?
More than enough, we're already set up. Cool, let's go. So, we're used to seeing rookies in Formula One every year, but this season there's a youngster that's arrived with perhaps a little more interest in them than usual. And that's because while they've been successful at every level of their career from karts all the way through to Formula 2, they've somehow managed to stay pretty much under the radar. They don't have that luxury anymore though. They're in Formula 1. Millions of people around the world watching their every move, both on and off the racetrack. So let's take some time to get to know them a little bit better.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. What is the thing you most are excited about being here in Formula 1? After your successful junior career, you must have had a lot of interest. What drew you to sign for the current team? These questions are going to determine where your skill set, where your skill tree is going to be. So I went ahead and did aero because Red Bull is actually known for their aero. So figured might as well make it as realistic as possible. What do you think your prospects are for the season? Are you aiming for points, or are you going to try and make wins, pretty much? And we ended up choosing that we're going to shoot for podiums. We have the car and the team, so there's no reason why we can't do it. And of course, Red Bull is going to be expecting results. I don't know if you guys have seen Drive to Survive, or if you watch the actual season itself. Red Bull is not one to drop a driver if they're not performing, which I mean makes sense. You know, they're investing money into these guys. You have to perform, you know, otherwise you get kicked. You get kicked to the curb. Alright, so right here we're starting out our qualifying lap. We are doing one-shot qualifying. We're not doing like the 3 qualifications. Like, no, it's just one shot and that's it. Whatever you get is what you get. So right here we're in first position. We're in P1 so far. So we're managing to keep our position. Unfortunately, that's not where we're gonna end up. We do end up in a good spot, but we just unfortunately do not get pole position. Alright. So as we come here to the first chicane, down the straight, going to 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Slow into 8th, and then right here you're supposed to go flat out, but on the controller it's really hard to do that. If you have a wheel, I'm assuming it's a lot easier to go flat out. Let's see, we just dropped down to 4th. We have Hamilton and Bottas that are in front of us, with Bottas being in 1st and Hamilton is 2nd. Now we just dropped down to 4th. Fortunately, we make up without one position, so we do have the 2 Mercedes at the front, with the 1 Aston Martin Red Bull in 4th. In 3rd. And where does our teammate Max end up in? We will see right now. So we have at the end we have the
With qualifying finished,
Alright,
it's time to
so
remind
luckily we
ourselves
got a
of our top
1-2
three,
for
Bottas,
Mercedes and
Hamilton,
a
and Garcia.
3-4
Well, that
for
wraps up
Red Bull.
qualifying, but
It
this
looks
is
like
the
every team
real
pretty much
deal,
just qual
and
with
it's make or
1-2.
break here at
1-2,
Melbourne
1-2,
Park,
1-2,
home of the
1-2.
Australian Grand Prix since 1996.
Alright, so we're coming up to the start of the Australian GP, which is usually the first race in every single season's calendar. It is also probably one of the easiest races that you can do, one of the easiest circuits I mean. Not that long, not that many turns, good amount of straights I believe, not too many low speed turns, a good amount of high speed turns, medium speed turns, you know.
Here we are then, Formula 1 in
So
2020.
right here we got the nice Mercedes AMG safety car. We got the Renault right here with Daniel Ricciardo as he gets ready to move on to McLaren and say goodbye to Renault. We'll see how well he does this season. Pretty sure he's going to do a lot better with McLaren. I mean, he already looks a lot happier. He has a better car, a better company car. I don't know if you guys saw the company car that Daniel Ricciardo had with Renault, but it was like an electric. It looked a lot like the Nissan Leaf. If you guys have ever seen one of those, it looks a lot like that. But once he moved over to McLaren, I believe he has like the 650 or 720S. So yeah, he definitely upgraded as far as company cars.
Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position.
Same thing with Carlos Sainz when he first moved to McLaren. He was given a rather nice looking car. I believe it was also a 650.
Ricardo, Sainz, Norris, and Sergio Perez. Stroll, Ocon, Daniel.
Yes, as you can see, pretty much everyone qualified like 1-2, 1-2, with the exception of Haas, Alpha,
Russell, and Nicholas Latifi.
and AlphaTauri, formerly Toro Rosso. And so right here we got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're taking off. Now unfortunately we didn't get the best of launches here, so we did end up losing. Well, we almost lost positions. We temporarily did lose it for like a few seconds, but luckily once we went into that first turn, we managed to take back our position from Leclerc. Or was it Vettel? I believe it was actually Vettel, not Leclerc. Alright, so coming down to one of the first few straights of the track, and right here there's high-speed corners right there. We just passed. Going into the second straight, well, with another high-speed corner. Now we're going into the third straight of the track with another high-speed corner too. So these are really easy. You just keep it planted. Like I said right here, it's really hard to keep it planted on a controller at least. So we got Bottas and Hamilton in front of us. Hamilton is second away from us. Now we're within DRS range, but unfortunately DRS doesn't activate for 2 laps. So while we are in DRS range, we overshoot it here a little bit. While we are we're not in DRS range anymore, but when we were, we wouldn't have been able to get it because of the whole two lap rule for DRS. Now they're slowly pulling away from us. They're showing the pace of the Mercedes and themselves. Bottas is already 2 seconds away from us. Hamilton is 1.4. And we got Vettel behind us, who's only 0.4 of a second away from us. We're stopping, ended up dropping from 4th to 5th. He's 1 second away down from us. We got overtake the enable, trying to make sure that we put in some distance between ourselves and Vettel. We want to try and be at least 1 second away from him by the time DRS is activated, because we are not within DRS range. So if we're not within DRS range and our opponent in the back is, they're gonna overtake us in the straights. And the Australian Grand Prix has quite a few of them, a good amount of overtaking opportunities and spots. So right here we're coming up to another one with a DRS zone. Nice nice straight. It's not that long, but it's enough that you could overtake if you're close enough, and if your opponent doesn't have DRS, which I wouldn't have had. Alright, so we're coming towards the end of the lap. We got the final chicane right here. Still maintaining our position. Still have Verstappen behind Vettel. Alright, so as you can see, DRS is now enabled, but as I said, we are not within DRS range. We are still 1.5 seconds away from Hamilton, which would be the person that would allow us to get DRS, and unfortunately we're within DRS range for Vettel. He's only 0.5 of a second away from us. Verstappen is also kind of closing in. Unfortunately we have not been able to put distance between ourselves and Vettel, but we can get this. We can still do this. It's only the beginning of the race. We're only on the 3rd lap, and we still have 55 more laps to go. Alright, now F1 does have a lot of different names for different turns, so if I don't remember every single turn name, just, please bear with me. I'm still learning. There is a lot of turns, a lot of different tracks in F1, and each of them have different names, so yeah, just please bear with me on that part. So right here we're coming up to Ascari and then Stewart, turn Stewart, coming up onto Senna, turn Senna, and then turn Prost. So now we're coming up to the ending straight again. So as we pass here the finish line, the start line technically. Alright, now we're coming up to Jones and Brabham, a Gucci drive. Coming down this long straight, and now we are out of DRS range, so unfortunately we didn't have DRS right there. And Verstappen did have, no, he was out of DRS range. So we were out of DRS range, but so was Verstappen, so it's okay because unfortunately, we didn't lose too much, but unfortunately we didn't gain too much either. So Hamilton is still 1.7 seconds ahead of us, while Bottas is still 3.2 seconds ahead of us. By the way, if you guys haven't watched Netflix's Drive to Survive Season 3, you guys should definitely check it out. Like, feel extremely bad for Bottas, like at the end, everyone had just left for his victory party. Like, come on, man, like, what is that? Like, he's a good guy, he's a good driver, he won, like, he's part of the team. You guys should be celebrating just as much as Lewis. When Lewis wins, celebrate. When Bottas wins, celebrate just as much, with just as much energy. It's like, can you imagine how much how that must feel to like put in all this effort, win a race when your teammate, obviously wasn't able to win because obviously he had a 10-second penalty. So because of that, unfortunately Lewis wasn't able to win, but Bottas did win. Mercedes still won, and it's not like Lewis was all the way in the back. They got a 1-3. Like, that is good. They're still both on the podium. They literally made a sandwich, but it is what it is. All the engineers, everyone, they had all left. They did leave him his 6-pack of Heineken, but hey. Alright, so right here we had a yellow flag, but went to a green flag again. We are in the yellow flag section now. So Lewis did have engine problems, but I thought that I thought there was a virtual that there was a safety car or something. So I ended up slowing down, and then I was like, well, wait, no, what the heck's going on? And then I didn't notice that we had the safety car out, and I was like, oh wait, no, my delta was getting too high, and yeah, I'm gonna get a penalty if I don't stop too soon. So we do switch over to lean mode since we're not driving that fast and there's no overtaking. Might as well switch over to lean, save some fuel. Just something, word of advice for you guys that don't know. I'm pretty sure everyone by now knows it, but if you don't, switch over to lean during safety cars and virtual safety cars. And if you can, try and pit that same lap, because if you pit after, you lose a lot more time. So compared to pitting during the safety car, if you pit during the safety car, I mean everyone's driving slow, so you don't lose a lot of time, because everyone only managed to like go a few meters ahead of you, while at the same time, if you'll be able to catch up to them quicker because they're not driving that fast compared to if they were at full race speed. They would have covered a lot further distance, and B, you wouldn't be catch up to them that easily. I mean, unless they were on like older tires and they were a slower team, then yeah, sure. But if you're Red Bull and Mercedes gets in front of you, more likely you're not catching up to them, or vice versa. Okay, all right. So right here we're coming down to Sports Center and Hellas. And Hellas turn, and now we're passing Winford, coming down to Marina and Lauda. So we got another yellow flag. We do get another virtual safety car. We do get a virtual safety car. No, this is the safety car. Yeah. So we're supposed to be staying behind Bottas. We're still in the safety car. I'm sorry. We do end up getting another yellow flag, and we do get a virtual safety car a little bit later on in the race. But right now, it's just a safety car. And I believe the safety car is coming in on this lap, so we're going to be going back to full race mode here at the end of this lap. As we're coming down Scari into Stewart, down the straight into Senna. I had to be careful right there, almost ran into Bottas. Yeah, it'd be embarrassing being the guy that crashes in a safety car. But yeah, no, definitely not trying to throw shade at anyone. Romain, no, just glad that he's okay after the last accident that he had in Bahrain 2020. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, that either A, didn't watch the race itself, or find out afterwards, or see it on Drive to Survive. During the Bahrain race of last year in 2020 in November, he actually ended up crashing, splitting his car in half, and the cockpit portion that he was in, which is the portion that you see currently on the video right now, and the portion that you see on the TV pod cameras, that part actually broke in half, like right where the engine is. So where they are and where the engine is, it broke apart in half. The engine part was, I guess, okay in a sense, but the cockpit portion where he was in actually burst into flames, and Romain was actually like on fire for a good minute. Yeah, like he suffered pretty bad burns in both of his hands, mainly his left hand. Had I would say the worst of the injuries. But yeah, no. If you haven't heard about it or don't know about it, definitely check it out on his Instagram. You roll back to like around November 18th, give or take, and you'll see the bandages that he had. He actually has a picture where you see his hand and how badly it was burned. And all right. So right here, the safety car should be coming in on this lap, so we should be getting back up to racing speeds here soon. But yeah, if I'm right, the safety car is going to come on this lap. Yeah, safety car should take forever. Yep, the safety car is in. So now we're going to get back to regular race speeds. As you can see, the safety car is in pit lane. Alright, so Bottas is so far the only one ahead of us right now. He's got a 0.5 of a second lead ahead of us, and we got Vettel behind us right now. Alright, so right here we're gonna go ahead and skip ahead to the ending of this lap, to the ending of the next lap, because we do have a virtual safety car out, and The previous lap was kind of boring. Nothing really happened except I chased down Beto, and that's it. There wasn't anything else to show. So went ahead and skip forward. I was gonna skip forward some more, but like I said, there is a virtual safety car here. So again, there's something. So I might as well add it. Alright, so right here we're trying to slow down the delta to make sure that we're in compliance. Alright, the virtual safety car has ended already. We went back to racing speeds. Unfortunately, we are not within DRS range for Bottas. He is about 1.5, 1.6 seconds ahead of us. But at the same time, luckily Vettel is 1.5 seconds away from us, so he is not within DRS range for us either. Luckily, we were also able to charge up our battery to get a little bit of more overtake, especially during these straights right here, because these are some of the few straights that this track does have. So unless you can have overtake during these straights, the people behind you will more likely catch up to you, especially if they have overtake and you don't have DRS. Okay. Alright, so right here we just passed Senna turn, we're going up to Prost turn, and now we're going up to this long finish start straight. And went ahead and skipped forward a little bit again to the beginning of lap 27. Skip forward about 10 laps. This is our pit window has just opened, so we're gonna go ahead and pit after this lap, at the end of this lap right here, and we're gonna go back onto our last set of softs, and after that, no, we have one more pit stop after that. Yeah, so we have this stop, one more, and then after that we'll go into mediums. So yeah, so we'll have one more pit stop after this. There's nothing too exciting to show. Bottas did manage to put a huge distance between himself and us. He is over 8 seconds ahead of us now, and that was just because of some bad entries, bad exits and stuff like that we ended up getting. Unfortunately made Bottas pull away from us because their space, the AI's pace, is pretty well, and they're pretty consistent. So unlike regular human drivers, unless you have a steering wheel or unless you're just like really good at it, it's kind of hard to be too consistent. And yeah, especially on the controller, it's kind of hard to get just the right amount of pressure with the triggers. I mean, they do definitely help out. Instead of having buttons, it is easier after a while, but it's still not easy. Nice. Right here we're going up to the pit lane. Vettel did come in behind us too, as you can see the Ferrari pit crew is getting ready, coming out. Luckily we're still ahead of Vettel. There's no reason why we shouldn't be. Our teammate Max is also in the pits now, so that's good, you know. Got both of us done in just one lap. Alright, so coming out, as you can see, there's a few people behind us. I believe that's Ricardo and Lando, but they're too far away. They're not gonna catch up to me, at least. Okay. Alright, so we're coming up to Ram Drive and then Agati Drive now, down to Sports Center Drive, Sports Center turn, Hellas, White Ford, and now going down this long straight to Marina turn and Lauda. Alright, now we just passed the Lauda chicane, coming up to Clark turn. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, so we just passed Hill turn, coming up to Ascari turn, and then down this short straight to Stewart turn. Now we're gonna be entering Prost Senna turn, and then Prost turn. Now to the long finish start straight. And once again, we did skip forward a little bit because there's just nothing exciting, you know, to show. We do have blue flag right here because we did manage to catch up to I believe that is Giovanni's. Yeah, that's Giovanni's. So I'm not gonna make any comments on Giovanni's, but I think he's a good driver. I mean, he's in Formula One for a reason. So, but is there better? Absolutely. I feel like there is better out there. I mean, Alfa Romeo, if you're looking for a new driver, hit your boy up. I'll put in the time. I'll get you guys at least to the midfield, if not better. As you can see, I mean, I'm not too bad. You know, I mean, this is on 75 difficulty out of 110. This is considered hard, but at the same time, it doesn't feel that hard. So we are gonna bump up the difficulty to expert after this race. No, after the following race, after Bahrain, because after this one we bump up the difficulty to 77, and at the Bahrain race, that one still felt a little too easy, so we just ended up going to the next difficulty, expert. That one, which isn't that far away. It's only 3 more points than 77, because expert starts at 80. So that should hopefully give us better racing, when we're not having too much distance between ourselves and the people behind us. So yeah, so stick around, and if you're interested in finding out how the Bahrain race went, then stick around, and for the next video it should be uploaded here soon. So yes, I apologize for the huge time gap between the last video and this video. I am still new to this whole YouTube thing, filming videos, editing videos, voicing over them and whatnot. It is still new to me, so I am still trying to get better at it. Alright, so right here we're coming up to Whitehead. Okay, yeah. So right here, I believe we had an itch. We had an itch in our nose, so I had to pause it. I thought I was gonna cut out all the pauses, but I guess this one managed to sneak by me. Alright, so we are gonna pit though, and I guess that's why I kept it, because we are pitting after this at this lap. Alright, so coming down pit lane, going all good, 37 mile an hour. I mean 35 mile an hour, you know, pit speed. And it's funny the way they look. They just like freeze instead of like going back inside of the garage or something. They just like stay there. I mean, yeah, it just looks weird. Alright, so now coming out of pit lane. Now we are on the medium, so this is our last pit stop. We don't have any more pit stops scheduled after this. So yeah, so now we just gotta make sure that the medium tires last us until the end of the race, and spoiler alert, they do. It's not that hard to manage your tires around this track. If anything, you can actually extend the tire life a little bit more than the regular stints, depending on like how long of a race you're doing. If you're doing like a 5 lap or a 25% race, yeah, you shouldn't have any problem. You should only have to do maybe 1 pit stop at most for the 25% length race. 50% probably would require 2, and then 100% would require 3 at least. Unless you use like a medium, I mean a soft medium. That'd be the only exception, I guess, where you could get away with like just 2 pit stops. But yeah, with that you're running a huge risk. I mean, the medium tires are slower, less grippy, while they do last longer. You know, you do, unless you have like a huge lead or you're like really confident with yourselves and your abilities. Yeah, the medium, it's best to try and get as much out of the soft tires as much as possible for as long as you have them. So, and I always, when I choose my tire selection, I always just choose balanced. Reason being is just because the soft tires do wear out a lot quicker, especially during practices, because the tires that you have for that week include the practice tires. So if you're someone that puts in a lot of laps, then I mean, the soft tire the soft tire strategy might not be the one for you. But if you don't drive that many laps, or if you're really good at managing your tires, then yeah, you can choose the soft selection. You'll have a lot more soft tires, so you'll be faster, but you'll more likely have to pit more, and you also run the risk of not possibly having fresh tires for qualification or for the race. And if you have, for me, I have one shot qual, so I don't really need to have that fresh of tires per se. I just need to have enough life on them left to do one good lap. But some people like to choose the full qualification, qual 1, 2, and 3. So for those guys, they need to make sure that they start out on fresh tires, for qual 3, for qual 1. And then for qual 2, they have to use the same tires. So, they get those tires, they have to have managed those tires well to make sure that they didn't overwear or wear out too much. And then it's the same thing for qual 3. So yeah, it's like, nah, we're good. Like, let's just go ahead and do one shot qualifying. Whatever you get is whatever you get. Alright, so right here, we're coming down to Whiteford turn, down to Marina turn, and then to Lauda. Alright, now we're going down to Lauda straight. And as we're going up to the Clark and Fittipaldi chicane, this is supposed to be flat out once again, but yeah, I just can't do it flat out. I don't have wheel, I don't have pedals, and with the controller it's kind of hard to flick the car, to jerk the car around like that. Alright, so we're coming down Stewart turn, up to the Senna turn, down Prost turn, and straight down to the finish start straight. I still can't say that word. I don't know why I get tongue twisted. Finish start straight. I don't know why that. It's a tongue twister for me for some reason. Alright, so now we're going down Agati Drive, where we would have DRS, but unfortunately we don't have DRS. Down to Sports Center turn, up to Headless turn, and over to Whiteford turn, down this short straight to Marina turn, and we pass Lauda. We're passing Lauda, sorry. Now we are coming up to the Clark and Fittipaldi chicane here soon. Alright, now we're going down Lakeside Drive. Down Lakeside Drive over to Wati. Down the hill straight. Make a slight turn to Ascari. Make a left to Stewart, and a left on, a right on Prost. Once again to the finish start straight. Finally got it right. Now this race is almost over, so if by this point you're still watching, hey, once again, thank you so much, and I hope that you all like, share, subscribe this video. I hope that you're enjoying the content. Once again, I am new to YouTube, so this is new to me, so I appreciate you all for being patient and for giving me constructive criticism, but just don't be an a-hole. Now, if you guys think that I should make these races shorter, please let me know. The videos are about almost 50 minutes long, so yeah, I mean, maybe during quarantine that's okay, but outside of quarantine, I don't know if people want to see videos this long. So if you guys feel like I should cut them shorter, please let me know. I definitely will. I'll do my best to edit them more, so to really only show the exciting parts. And increasing difficulty will also help that out. Like I said, this is on 75 difficulty. You know, so there's still a good. There's still like a good, like, I don't know, like 30 more points, 35 more points that I could go up until we reach 110 AI. And that is the ultimate goal, is to reach 110% AI in these races. So please stick around. This is season 1. Season 1 isn't going to be our best one. Season 2 definitely will be better. And so season 3 and so on and so on. Once we're able to, we might even start doing the My Team career mode. It's gonna kind of suck having to start all the way from the beginning again, but it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, so right here we're going on to a few more back markers with the Williams. I believe that was Russell or Latifi, one of those two. Alright, so we're going down Lakeside Drive over to okay, now we're coming up to Ascari turn, and then we're gonna take that right on Stewart turn to go to take the left on Senna, and then a right on Prost. And as you can see, there is still someone ahead of us, so we are gonna try and get the slipstream up. Gonna get you up, never gonna give you up. Man, I don't know why that was like stuck in my head, and I feel like it was like tongue twisting me. Alright, so we are coming up to a Haas right now. I believe this is Grosjean, maybe Magnussen. So they do have the blue flag because they are going a lot slower than we are. We are in second place currently, I believe. So yeah, so as you can see right there, they have a blue flag letting us know to pass because they're going too slow and they're gonna mess up our race. Alright, so as we're coming up to Clark and okay, yeah, so I've been getting it wrong this whole time, I'm sorry guys. So now we're on Lakeside Drive and we're coming up to the White chicane. Okay, yeah, now we're on Hillside Drive. Okay, so we went ahead and skipped forward a little bit more again, skipped over to lap 48. We do have just 10 more laps to go in this race. We are gonna skip a few more of those though. As you can see, currently it is Bottas that has a huge leap ahead of us. He's got a whole 27 seconds ahead of us. Like he's almost got half a minute of distance ahead of us. And as you can see, Russell's ahead of us right now. We got the slipstream off him, pass him on the left, go into the Clark and Fittipaldi chicane. Now we're on Lakeside Drive. Going down Lakeside Drive to the White chicane. Once again, it's supposed to be flat out. Doesn't happen, as you can see. Downhill Drive. And into Ascari turn. Down this mini straight to Stewart turn. Take that right. Take the left on Senna turn. Pass pit lane and boom into Prost turn into the finish start chicane. So you go to lap 49. Get another blue flag for the person in front of us again. Unfortunately, we're not in DRS, but we could put up the fuel mix up to standard or even rich to pass this person. But I like my last few laps. I do like to pretty much leave it on rich, so I like to have as much fuel saved as much as possible, so that I can the last few laps I can just put it on rich and just take off. You know, really only switch down to like lean or standard like in the turns to slow down, to help slow down the car a bit, and also help with the engine overheating. Alright, so we're going down Lauda turn. I mean Lakeside, sorry. Alright, so we did skip forward a little bit again. As you can see, to lap 54, we have 4 more laps to go. As you can see, Verstappen has managed to catch up to us. Vettel did put some distance, fell back quite a bit. Stroll and Leclerc passed him. Alright, so over here we had another itch, or we had something going on. Oh no, I believe my wife was talking to me, but yeah, like I said, I thought I had cut all the pauses out, but I guess there was 2 of them that managed to skip us by. I guess there's a reason why we kept that one in if we did. More likely it was because of that, to show that small battle, show us getting DRS. As you can see, we still got the blue flag because there's still back markers there that we're going to catch up to them here in a bit. Yeah, there it is. Alright, and that is Gasly. Alright, Gasly, I'm gonna need you to step out of the way before you mess up our race, you know. We are still in second place, so that is good. And we do have a 1.3 second distance away from Max. And we did manage to close up the gap between Bottas and ourselves up a bit. Instead of him being almost 30 seconds away from us, he's only 6 seconds away from us. Yeah. He pitted, so that obviously helped out a lot. But that okay, yeah. So right here we had to end up. We accidentally had to go ahead and restart because we ended up going way too wide. We're going straight into the barricade, which would have made us restart anyways because of the complete damage. Well, unless we retired from the season to make it more, I guess, genuine. You know, that if you go off track and into the barrier, you're more likely done. These cars are, while they're strong and durable, they are also really fragile, as Lightning McQueen would say. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy if you guys haven't seen the video of Lewis Hamilton stepping on the wing of these cars. Like, he's legit like bouncing off it, putting all his weight on it, and the wing is strong. It supports his full weight, but yet like when it's traveling down next to a car, if it touches a tire, it goes like flying off. It's insane. I mean, I'm not dumb. I understand why. It's because of the physics, the force, the torque, the energy that's actually being transferred from the wheel to the wing itself is a lot different than the energy being transferred from one guy standing on it and bouncing on it. And I mean, at the same time, Lewis Hamilton is not that big of a guy. I mean, race car drivers typically aren't big guys. They're not like NFL guys or like NHL guys. You know, they're not huge guys that have big arms, big chests, you know, wide legs. Like, no, that if anything, that would be a hindrance for them, because when it comes to cars, more weight equals more slow. Less weight equals more fast is pretty much the simplest formula that you can come up with when it comes to cars and speed. So like, and that includes the person as well, not just the car. A lot of people think, oh well, as long as the car is light, that's fine. And yeah, for the most part that's true. If as long as the car is light, then it'll be fine. But I mean, what's gonna happen if the car weighs, like, F1 cars weigh about 800 kilograms, which is a little over 800 kilograms, which is, I'm sorry, I don't, America doesn't have a metric system. Okay, so 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds. I believe F1 cars are about 860 kilograms, give or take. That equals to 1,895 pounds. So these cars weigh 1,896 pounds. So if the car is, then that's actually really light for a car. Most cars usually weigh in the 2000s, 2700 range or higher. As you can see, Max catched up to us a lot more now, and now he's trying to pass us, but not gonna happen, Maxi boy. But yeah, so if you have a guy that weighs a buck 50, right, on a 1,896 pound car, that's not gonna increase the weight of the car that much. If anything, the car should still be under 2,000 pounds. Let's do the math real quick. 1,896 plus 150. Okay, so actually it's just shy of 2,000. So it's 2,046 pounds, right? And that's just a guy that weighs above 50. What about a guy that weighs 250, right? 1,896 plus 250 equals 2,146 pounds. You know, that's a huge difference. That's 100 pounds difference. That can make a huge difference, especially in straight line speed. In the turns, it might help them out a lot, actually, having that extra weight to keep the car planted even more. But in a straight line scenario, that would be a hindrance. At Monza, at Hanoi, that would actually hurt them more than it would benefit them. So as you can see, we got second place. Bottas got first. The course driver of the day was Lance Stroll, because his daddy probably bought that. Just kidding. Just kidding, Lance Stroll. I'm sure you earned your seat. Alright, Bottas, and now there better be people celebrating for you.
We were looking at an entirely different race before
That's all I gotta say.
came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
After an excellent performance at the Grand
yeah, so right
Prix,
here we're on
I'm sure
pole.
there'll be plenty of
Luckily,
celebrations
Red
tonight
Bull,
amongst
we
the
didn't do too bad. We got a 2-3,
and they
guys. That's still
certainly
good for the
deserve
team. I'm pretty sure Chris Horner is still very happy with that result. I mean, yeah, it would have been better if at least one of us was on the top step. Yeah, but hey, at least we're not in a Mercedes sandwich. With like maybe in a second, Bottas in first, and Hamilton in third or something.
So then,
Yeah.
it's time to see
So
how this
here are the
result affects
official
the
results
Drivers'
from
Championship.
Mercedes.
Valtteri Bottas
Got
takes the
first
top
place,
spot.
second
He's our new
place
Drivers'
is myself.
Championship leader
Third place is
after today's
Verstappen.
result.
Fourth,
After an
Leclerc.
incredible day of racing,
Ricardo,
who was your driver of the day,
Stroll,
Ant?
Sainz,
Stroll
Vettel,
certainly
Norris,
put in an
Perez,
impressive performance
Ocon,
today. No doubt his team and
Kvyat,
fans-
Gasly, Giovanni's, and then there was a few that got DNF, including Hamilton,
Everything went your way today. It looked like you had
Hamilton
a really good
and
strategy
Norris, I
for the
believe.
race.
All right. So everything went your way today. It looked like you had a really good strategy for the race. Well, I had a good I raced hard and got a podium. All right, we did it. The team really pulled it off.
You really looked in control.
You really
of the
locked
car
in
out
control of the car out there.
You must be
Your
thrilled.
three must be thrilled. I couldn't do this without a great team behind me, and that's true. These are the same
How do you feel
responses that I
seeing
would
yourself
have.
on
I'm
the
not a flashy type of guy. What do you feel about seeing your teammate on the podium? Very solid wingman for me. I'm so proud. It's great to be a teammate with someone so talented. I mean, it's true.
The walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip?
Now, right here, I don't really like these questions, and at first, I would just respond like that. I'm glad that F1 2020 gives you that option, and F1 2019, they would still ask you that question, and your only options were the people around me are like idiot magnets, or no, I was an idiot magnet. The car just didn't handle right, and I forgot the other one. But like those were the only options they gave you, so you had to throw someone over the bus. Now at least it gives you the option to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Alright guys, well, hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, like, share, subscribe. Gonna be showing just a few more things right here currently on our team. Gonna be making some upgrades hopefully here soon to the car. Unfortunately, we don't have that many resource points. We only have 810, but we should be getting some here soon. So yes, stick around if you're enjoying this so far. Appreciate if you like, share, subscribe, share with all your sim racing and F1 fans F1 friends, you know. And I'll see you next time at Bahrain. Yeah. So thank you guys. My name has been SimplySimRacer, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.